up, my friends? This is Travis, your redheaded realtor. I am here to talk about the economic summit that we had last week. I'm going to talk really, really fast. I don't usually do that. I ramble quite a bit. So unfortunately, you don't get to see all the rambling that I have normally on a typical basis. We're going to talk about a couple things: rental market, real estate market, Denver economy, as well as the economy as a whole. So we got a lot of stuff. I'm going to break each section down a little bit later in some more videos so you get to see my face a little bit more, which is nice for everyone. I'm going to read off my notes. That's what I keep looking over here, so please forgive me for that. But we're going to do like a 30,000 view of everything, and then I'll break it down later. And no rambling. All right, so we're going to start with the rental market. If you are renting in Denver, I have no good news for you. That's just the way it is. It's going to continue to remain a very strong rental market. There's not a whole lot of inventory. Rates are going to continue to increase. I don't have a ton of good news for you. Now, there is some good news. So I'll give you the little bit of good news I have. If you're renting something 2010 and older, your rates actually might stay where they're at. Maybe go down a little bit, but anything newer, that's where everyone wants to move, especially downtown. There's a lot to do downtown. We'll dive into downtown here in a little bit. All right, so what has COVID done to the rental market? It's made it go up. Unfortunately, that's just, there's not a whole lot of inventory. Folks are moving into Denver from out of state or regionally around here because the economy in Denver is returning faster. So you're like, what, COVID should help the rental market. It's really not. It's just causing less inventory out there on the market. More folks are moving out here, and it's just making a very difficult situation for people trying to rent or find a place to rent that's affordable. So we're going to talk about some of that stuff. I'm going to flip my notes here, so forgive me. All right, we're going to talk about the real estate market. I got a lot of stuff to talk about here, and this is why everyone's here listening to me today. The home valuations in Denver are up 7.4% year over year from 2019 to 2020. So that's huge. Homes prices and values are just continuing to skyrocket. Closings in Denver were up from 2019 to 2020, 7.5%. So homes are selling and selling fast. 25% of all those homes, those closings that we had, were in that 400 to 500,000 range for the home values. And then 50% of the homes were 450 and above. That is your California having a direct impact. They're noticing that their dollar goes a lot farther out here in Colorado than it does in California. So they're coming out here. They're living the mountain lifestyle that we have. They're maybe growing some beards, not as good as this one, but they're out here. They're enjoying themselves, and they're realizing there's less taxes, and it's a great place to live. So let's try to keep that secret to ourselves and not let it get out anymore, I should say. Days on market is a metric that we look at. The longer a home sits on the market, the less valuable it gets, different things like that. So our average days on market was 6. It was down from 13. So homes are selling so fast right now, and that just comes to there's not a lot of inventory. There's a whole lot of buyers out there, and the competition is so high. So what are we looking at in 2021 in our real estate market? We're looking at quality inventory is going to continue to remain low. There's just not a ton of homes that are out there, and we can't build them fast enough. Prices will continue to grow in this market. It's just the way it is. When there isn't a ton of inventory out there and there's a ton of buyers, which means you get into some bidding wars, and those prices will remain high. Mortgage rates will continue to remain low, and I'll dive into that a little bit here in a second. But that's something good to know, that this year you're not gonna see those mortgage interest rates just skyrocket or anything like that. So they're gonna continue to remain low. So you got a little bit of time in that regard. Not in the price of the home, not at all. Buyers. What do you need to do as a buyer in this crazy market? I'm not trying to scare you away. Buying right now is very, very, very smart. Home prices will continue to grow. And if you're looking to buy, time is not your friend. You need to find something. You need to have a plan in place. So what I would recommend, if you're looking to buy and you're serious about making that move, get with your realtor and say, all right, I want to move. This is where I want to move to. What's our plan to get our offer out there? What's our plan to make our offer stand out? Because of 20 offers on that same home, your offer needs to stand out in some way. And then just have a plan in place so when we find that place, we make those moves. We know what to do. It's automatic. We're super fast because time is not your friend. For sellers, staging is super important. You want to neutralize your home to make sure that someone coming in can picture themselves in your home and not picture you in the home. And then I've talked about it before. Pricing is so, so important. You get so many more viewers on your home when you price it appropriately from the start, and it sells so much quicker in that regard. All right, we're going to continue on. We're going to do the Denver economy. All right, Denver economy it's looking great. Like I said before, regionally, the economies around in the major cities around us haven't recovered as fast as Denver. So we're seeing just this huge amount of folks just moving into the Denver area, impacting our rental market and impacting the real estate market. It's good, but it also kind of makes things a little bit more difficult. We're going to see the most people return to their jobs in downtown Denver in that June-September timeframe. But, visitors are already coming down there. So last year, between June and September, most of the people returned to work downtown. And we're going to see that again this year, probably on a more increased scale, especially with these vaccines that are coming out. Fall is going to see a return to convention travel is what we believe, which is really, really great. That can only help all the small businesses downtown and all the hotels and all that whole layer of revenue that the city depends on every single year. Another big metric we look at, a super important metric, was in Q4 of 2020 compared to Q4 of 2019. We had more people living in downtown Denver in Q4 of 2020 than in 2019. That's huge. We did not see that huge exodus out of downtown Denver. The reason for that is our downtown is more than just a business district. We have our ballpark down there. We have restaurants, we have bars, we have nightclubs. We've got the theater district downtown, although you can't go to it right now. We have more to downtown than just businesses. So people are moving down there for the lifestyle of in the downtown area, in that Lodo area. So that's not going to continue. That's not going to go away, I should say. That's just going to continue to grow in that market. The workforce in Denver is expected to grow this year, which is fantastic. 1.5% it's going to grow by. So that's only going to lead to, like I said, more inventory issues in Denver. So I don't mean to scare you away. I just want to make you aware of the market in Denver. So all of these different things, COVID, less people in downtown, we have better traffic. No, we don't. If you've been on I-25, at any time you understand that it is the worst highway in America, I believe. I don't know. California might have some bad ones, but it might be getting better out there because everyone's moving here. So maybe we're the new California. I don't know. Let's not talk about that. All right. Economy outlook as a whole. So our GDP in Denver in the US only dropped about 2.5%, which is a lot better than most people had originally anticipated it was going to be. You can see where the stimulus checks were just pumped into the economy and how it kept our lows from getting so low and really just helped from getting to those depths where it's just unsurmountable. So with those vaccines coming out, we do expect that people are going to start getting out and spending their money a little bit more balanced. Right now, most people are spending their money on stuff rather than services, or restaurants and different things like that. They're spending more on boats and cars and different things like that, new homes. So they're spending their money more on stuff than they are on services. And we might see a little bit more balance out when that vaccine comes out. But that's really helped us. They're spending the same amount, just in different areas. So I talked about the interest rates before, and we're gonna dive into that a little bit more. That's not going to increase super fast. The reason why is if that increased super fast, it causes panic and chaos. That's not going to happen. So a couple factors need to come into place before those rates decide to go up. That would be inflation would have to increase and unemployment would have to still decrease. Until everything kind of aligns, it won't trigger that slow gradual increase on those mortgage interest rates, which is good. So You don't have to rush into those, like I said before, but it is something to consider. Home prices will continue to grow. So if you're looking and you want to take advantage of those mortgage interest rates to buy a new home, we can do that. Or if you're literally just looking to get a refinance to, capitalize on those mortgage or the low interest rates, we can get you with a lender to talk about that, because they're not going to go away, or it's not going to increase super fast, but you'll want to jump on that because you can save quite a bit of money. Another thing to consider for this year is there's going to be a huge amount of folks, kids that are aging into the home buying market. That, coupled with everyone moving here, the Californians getting out here, you're just going to see inventories continue to, I keep saying inventory is so important. They're building new developments, in the south, down in, where I'm at in Parker, Douglas County. They're building these new developments, and companies are coming in and buying those homes strictly for the purpose of renting them out. The rental market is huge. So, just keep that in mind. It impacts so many different, the low inventory impacts so many different areas, and kind of, the housing situation in Denver is not, it's not dire, but we do need more inventory, and it will continue to play a factor in your home search as well as your home selling. It's great if you're trying to sell, and trying to find a home can be bad if you don't have a plan in place. All right, I've rambled enough. So if you have any questions, please comment. If you liked what I had to say, or if you just like to stare at you for 10 minutes or so, please like my page, subscribe to my page, whatever you want to do, whatever it's called these days. Do that, and we will talk soon once I dive into each section just a little bit more. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one.